Welcome to Thoughts with Evan. I'm Evan. I have some thoughts on prayer today. I wanted to talk about how sometimes I struggle to talk to the Lord, and because I feel like I need to be in the right mind, or I don't have a respectful attitude at that moment or something. I don't know. I just feel like I have to be prepared somehow to talk to the Lord. And when I go through, like last week, I had Nikki's surgery, and I was in the hospital, and that brought up some tough memories from the past, and I was struggling with all that stuff. And I just, I talked a little bit to you about that last week. I just shift to comforts in that time, and also, I'm not angry at the Lord. I don't feel like the Lord has caused any of this, but it places a separation when I feel like there are times when I can and can't talk to him. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that today. And people have said to me in the past, you should talk to the Lord like you talk to one of your friends. And I've scoffed at that before, because I thought, well, no, he's the Lord. I can't talk to him like my friend. I have to talk to him in the King's English. But I don't really think that. But I just one extreme to the other. But let's look at Exodus 33. Now, this is right after the golden calf happened. And so a lot's going on. But in chapter 33, verse 7, it says, "Now Moses used to take the tent and pitch it outside the camp, a good distance from the camp, and he called it the tent of meeting. And everyone who sought the Lord would go out to the tent of meeting, which was outside the camp. And it came about whenever Moses went out to the tent that all the people would arise and stand, each at the entrance of his tent, and gaze after Moses until he entered the tent. Whenever Moses entered the tent, the pillar of cloud would descend and stand at the entrance of the tent, and the Lord would speak with Moses. When all the people saw the pillar of cloud standing at the entrance of the tent, all the people would arise and worship, each at the entrance of his tent." And now verse 11 is what I want to focus on. "Thus the Lord used to speak to Moses face to face, just as a man speaks to his friend." So, there it's very simple. So that God and Moses spoke to each other face to face, just as a man would to his friend. And you may say to me, well, I'm not Moses. I can't talk to the Lord that way. So let's just do a little bit of background. Well, the tent of meeting later becomes something called the tabernacle, which later becomes the temple. It was the tabernacle when they were in the wilderness and they needed to take it down and move it around. But it was where God would come and talk to his people. And so what is that now? Well, now let's turn over to Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 9, verses 11 and 12. It says, "But when Christ appeared as a high priest of the good things to come, he entered through the greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this creation, and not through the blood of goats and calves, but through his own blood. He entered the holy place once for all, having obtained eternal redemption." Now, people interpret this to mean that when the tent that Christ entered was his human body. So when God came down in the incarnation and became, the God and man, Jesus, he was both at the same time. He took up that tent. He came and he spoke with us like God spoke with Moses in the tent, through the tent of his body. And so we know after he died and he saved us, and he said, "I'm going to send a helper," right? And so Paul says that our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. And Jesus says, and I'm sorry for all the flipping, but I wanted to make this clear in your mind. Jesus says in John 14, 16 and 17, "I will ask the Father, and he will give you another helper, that he may be with you forever. That is the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it does not see him or know him, but you know him because he abides with you and will be in you." So because we are always dwelling with the Lord, because we have the Holy Spirit with us at all times, we can, just like Moses did, talk to the Lord face to face like a man would to his friend. So I wanted to encourage you to not ever feel like you have to be in a certain mode and you have to speak in a certain way to be able to speak to the Lord, but you should always speak to him. and not let that be a separation in your relationship. So I hope the Lord taught you something through that. I hope it encouraged you. And if it did, please like and share it with your friends. And tell them what it meant to you, and tell them how you are able to talk with the Lord and encourage them as well. I love you all, and I hope to see you soon.